Hello everybody, back here again for an idiot's guide to woodworking, and this is pretty much a project wrap-up video. I have no footage of the actual project at all. I plan on building another one hopefully the next few days, and I'll get footage of that and then maybe put these together or just add the actual building video. This is just kind of the plan that I saw that I started off with. I actually found this, I can't remember if I saw it on Pinterest or somebody actually sent it to me off Pinterest. But this was the design that somebody came up with using dog-eared cedar fence board. One of the things I was not really a big fan of is he had split all the bottom boards in half and made it a little bit narrower than I liked. Didn't really care for the look, so I went ahead and decided to heck with it, and I built this one over here is what I came up with. So few upgrades that I did go ahead and route off all my edges just to give it a lot smoother. With your hand, a lot softer, a lot easier to sand over, all that good stuff. I also went ahead and left the front boards here sticking out just a little bit past, not a lot, just a little. His photo shows it cutting off flat, which I'm not really, I don't know, I didn't care for the look of that too much. I also went ahead and just a few different things I done. On the back, I ran the boards up. I left them staggered down because I really did not care for his square back. I also did the outside too at a shorter level. Just I thought it would give it a little bit neater look, and I wanted the round going on all four boards as opposed to just the outside too. So, not sure. Some people won't like that, I'm sure, whatever, but I do. So, a few other things I went ahead and done in here in the reinforcing state of it. I decided to glue in some blocks. I glued them in and brad nailed these in to give a little more strength. I figure there's going to be a lot of pressure being pushed down that when you go to get up out of your chair, you put your hand down. My hope is that the weight will be more on the inside, right over top of the leg itself, but probably won't be. One of the things I decided I did not care for afterwards is I don't really like the look of that block. So I think my next one is going to be probably just a board like this, but I'm going to have the same curved shape going down with a 45 corner. So it's going to set in there like so, screwed into the side and into the top. Maybe just brad nailed in and glued, whatever. Not too concerned about that. So then I also went ahead and I put lots of screws in here. Put all the screws in from the bottom on the arm and the back, just because I thought, well, I see the screws up top, another thing to rust. And there are exposed screws out front here, and part of me thinks maybe I should go ahead and just brad nail it on the next one to hide all the screws. I'm really not a fan of brad nails, but I was using a Tight Bond 3, I believe it is, the waterproof stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's going to hold once it's all there. I also ran the supports up the back, of course, that I needed. Another thing I really like the way it turned out is I cut the back corners off of these legs. So when it's stacked up or standing upright, that whole surface area is touching the concrete or the ground as well as the front leg. When it comes down, before I only had this tiny little corner resting on it, and I didn't feel like it was nearly quite as strong as it could have been. So then the next thing I done that I end up doing that his project does not show at all is I ran some supports across the bottom originally to add a little more strength, because I don't know if my boards were a little weak or if they're just drier or what the heck, but I could feel them flexing, I could feel them moving. Did not like that at all. And so after I ran these two boards, it was a little bit stronger, but still not quite strong enough. I decided to run a whole board all the way across from end to end. It's pressure fitted in there, brad nailed in, glued in, and the thing is really firm now. I mean, I've done everything but stand in it and jump in the darn thing. So I've set in it, I've kind of shoved, kind of bounced up and down on my weight in that. I'd say it's pretty solid. So my next one, I noticed my legs, I used a higher quality fence board than I did the rest of it because it was a little bit more expensive, and my next chair is going to all be made out of this heavier dutier stuff. And I'll also go ahead and put more supports and stuff in, like a little arch thing in the corner and that. So overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. I also went ahead and ran that little like glued blocks up here in the corners, and then back here behind this one also I ran the same block. So that was just scrap stuff that I cut off that I had left over. There was a couple little spots where my wood split out that I was not real happy with. I didn't pre-drill it like an idiot, and I had a spot here and there to crack out. I also end up losing an entire arm because of that. So I didn't pre-drill these, and I had this whole thing right through here crack right out, and it really, I don't know, it was disappointing. That's a pretty big piece of wood. I hate losing a big chunk of wood like that, but I was able to actually save it, and it became this piece right here. So I didn't lose a lot, but I lost some time in that. But the other thing I've been looking at doing is possibly maybe rounding off these back corners. At least round them off. I might just 45 them. I haven't made my mind up exactly what I want to do. I'll probably come in here and at least round, I think, because I do like the idea of that. If somebody walks behind the chair, they're not as likely to, you know, end up kicking themselves or stabbing themselves in the knee or something like that with it. Also, the big shelf in the back here, I kind of like, but part of me is thinking maybe if I curve that to give that little arched back, but then I got to curve the bottom. It starts becoming a lot more hassles and stuff, and it sets really stinking good right now. So super impressed with how well it sets. Also, I'm thinking about running a board. If you notice, my boards are kind of flexing a little bit. They're not dead even there. Think about running a board up here, just a little strap across. I might run it right at the top of that one so it ties all four together, or just up here on the top and tie those two together. Haven't made my mind up. So if you guys have any input, any questions, any thoughts of what I should change before I build my second one, I need it to be semi close together because I believe these are going to go together as a gift. So I don't want to change it up too much, but if it does change up a lot, I can always redo this one, keep this one for myself, and build two whole new ones for somebody else. So I definitely am looking for any feedback. Positive criticism be nice. Just telling me it's ugly and stupid. I mean, leave it if you need to. It's not going to help anybody though. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have yourself a safe and wonderful day, and get out there and build something. This was super cheap. I think I've got, I'd say including glue and screws in it, I'm probably 16 bucks, 18 bucks in it, something like that. So, and like I said, I'll show you what I used to cut it with. This was a chop saw. I did use my bandsaw to do the corners, but a handheld jigsaw would do that just the same. And I also went ahead and used my table saw to rip the board down that became my rear support, only because I didn't want to waste that much wood, which I would have had plenty had not screwed up that arm. So I didn't want to cut a whole nother board down just to make that. And I also think it didn't need to be that thick because that half width is fine. That also could be done with a handsaw, could be done with a handheld jigsaw also. So super simple. Then of course the drill to pilot hole the drills, and then I use the same drill to do the screws. So if a guy wanted to, he could do this all with hand tools. I'm not a big fan of that. Definitely when it comes like the routing, I would definitely, it'd take forever to sand that stuff off like here without a router. So, but if a guy don't have a router, he could definitely leave that rough edge and just sand it over. It won't be that big a deal either. So anyway, feedback's greatly appreciated. Have yourself a great day.